Have you always been this bright, full ball of joy and sunshine and everything wonderful and fantastic?
I'm so thrilled when I fall in love with the person interviewing me immediately, which is what just happened. The answer is I was when I was little, and then it got dimmed out, and then my adulthood has been the journey of finding her again, and I'm happy to say she's now alive and well. But she left for a while. You know what I mean?
My gosh.
Yeah, we just started.
I wish my husband was here to hear you say that because...
Listen, we are recording. You hit play.
Literally the exact conversations I've had with my husband where I was like, as a kid, I was like this, and then I don't know what happened. But now I have my memories coming back, and now, yeah.
Yes, you remember. You remember. This is the topic of my life. It's what I'm most obsessed with because I think all of our power and our magic is in that little girl.
Welcome to Connecting the Dots. I'm your host, Jessica Carice, and this space is a place where we talk about seemingly random topics, but in all actuality, they're connected together. And today we have a very, very special guest. Her name is Lorena Martinez. She is an actor, a writer, a speaker, and a coach who's in all the, oh my goodness. Let's try this again. I was trying to be slick with things. Let me do this all over again. All right, Jeremy, that's my graphics guy. Jeremy, I'm redoing this. Okay. I don't feel like starting over the recording. Okay.
Please.
Welcome to Connecting the Dots. I'm your host, Jessica Carice, and this space is a place where we talk about seemingly random topics, but in all actuality, they're connected together. And today we have a very special guest. Her name is Lorena Martinez. She is an actor, a writer, a speaker, and coach who is all in on the magic of creative joy. She launched her company, Beyond Creative, with a mission to raise joy, inspire courage, and ignite creativity. A professional actor for over 10 years, Lorena has performed on Hollywood sets, Tony Award-winning stages, and legendary comedy houses. She has a BFA from NYU and an MFA from UCSD. She created and wrote a sitcom based on her immigration woes and recently signed a shopping deal with a major production company. She is also the creator of Playdate, a show where play and inspiration comes hand in hand. Games, crafts, adventures, and going deep on the magic of creating an improbable career. Lorena.
Hi.
You are incredible. I am fantastic. How are you doing?
So thrilled to be here. I'm so thrilled to know you. I'm thrilled.
Wonderful. When you first came on, all I saw was just big, bright ball of sunshine just radiating out from you. Have you always been this way? Have you always been this bright, full ball of joy and sunshine and everything wonderful and fantastic?
Say more. No, I'm so thrilled when I fall in love with the person interviewing me immediately, which is what just happened. The answer is I was when I was little, and then it got dimmed out. And then my adulthood has been the journey of finding her again. And I'm happy to say she's now alive and well. But she left for a while. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we just started.
Oh, I wish my husband was here to hear you say that because...
Listen, we are recording. You hit play.
Literally the exact conversations I've had with my husband where I was like, as a kid, I was like this, and then I don't know what happened. But now I have my memories coming back, and now, yeah.
Yes, you remember. This is the topic of my life. It's what I'm most obsessed with because I think all of our power and our magic is in that little girl. And I feel like society is so obsessed with inner child healing, which yes, but there's also just the inner child joy, going in it through her joy and not her trauma.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of power in that.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's such a intricately nuanced type of thing.
Yeah. You need both. You can't not acknowledge what hurt her. But I feel like we're here to do more than just heal. We're here to like enjoy, you know, and she knows how to enjoy better than anyone. So yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, no, cause it's like, so I follow like a lot of different like spiritual pages on Instagram and different pages that reflect like different stages of whatever journey you're on, right?
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. And so there was this one, reel I saw just about like praying, for example, and like manifesting. And it was about this girl who was like praying to the universe, praying to God, whoever, whatever word you use. Like, please help me become more patient. And then all this bad stuff would happen to her, like just as a joke. Right. And I was like, yeah, y'all, like I literally stopped like using words to pray because that weird stuff kept happening. But then I noticed as I was doing the work, like transitioning from hurt to healing to I'm good, the results of my prayer became more like, okay, yes, that's exactly what I asked for, not this crazy weird stuff.
Yeah, because it's not coming from chaos and fear. It's coming from like you knowing who you are, and everything is a little smoother. Still, the universe will be like, but now we have tools for that.
Yeah. So tell me about yours. Like when you lost yourself, what was that little thing, that little star, that little nudge? It's like, wait, remember. Like in The Lion King.
Remember. Exactly. Okay, Jessica. So I grew up in Mexico. I'm going to go back a little bit. Is that cool?
Yeah. Of course.
I grew up in Mexico, and I'm the only woman in my family other than my mother. I have 3 brothers, and I grew up in a very strict Catholic household. And my school was very Catholic, and sort of like the lessons that I've always been very stubborn, and it was a problem when I was little, but it's actually what saved my life, I believe. Because the conditioning that I had was very like, be small, be a lady, don't speak up, say you're sorry, let your uncle hug you for as long as he wants to hug you. Like, just what you want. And my family, like, I love them and they're doing their best that they know. But the society was not telling me that I was important or that I had a place. And my too muchness, my like wild theater loving little girl, no one could handle. So I started tucking her away because it was really important for me to succeed and to be like extraordinary. And so I started working really hard. I got A's. Like I'm going to impress you, like that was my motto for so long. And then I wanted to be an actor, and I was still like, I'm going to impress you. And because I'm from Mexico, I had a super hard immigration journey. It was very intense, and I basically had to prove that I was going to be famous, that I'm famous, or I had to leave the country. And I didn't want to go back to that place where I never felt like I belonged. You know what I mean? And so basically now legally I had to impress. And so it was like many, many years of like busting my butt to impress other people. And I'm very talented. So that's nice. But like the moments of joy were only when I was able to play while I was acting. Like the moments where I remembered acting is have you ever done any acting?
That's a loaded question. We'll get back to that one.
Okay. I love it. I mean, all art, but like, I want to know more. But when you're acting, if there's these moments of magic that every artist knows where you like transcend, where like genius strikes and you're like, what just happened? And for the longest time, that felt so accidental and so like, if God is on your side, it will happen. Just show up and that's your job. And that's great. Like that worked. But those moments meant that I had the capacity to be a genius. I just didn't know how to channel that or how to like have access when I needed it because I needed my life to work. Long story short, it did not work. I did not get famous enough in the time allotted, but I was pushed to create a sitcom, to create a TV show about the situation I was in. And at first, like the first few years, I was like busting my butt. And because I'm good, the show was good. And it went far. I signed a shopping deal. And when I finally released it, do you know what a shopping deal is?
Vaguely, I just had little images like if, like, let's say maybe you're partnered with a company and then you launch a brand or something like that.
Yeah. For TV, you're basically giving your rights away for a year and they're going to shop it, see who wants it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But what it means is that I don't have the rights and I can't move the show. I can't go call anyone. They have the rights for the show for a year. So what it allowed me to do was release that show that had been like my one thing, the thing that I thought, cause people tell you like, write what you know. And I was like, this is all I know. And once I released that creative idea, this other huge one came along that I was like, okay, let's play. And this one just came from joy and curiosity, a world that I know nothing about. And I went and I traveled and this creative idea basically showed me and reminded me of who I was and brought out my inner child. That's when I started experimenting with play. I have a TED talk that I think that's how we connected, but I'm obsessed with the power of play and unproductive joy and how it like brings you back into your light. And I started putting that very actively into practice every time I sat down to work, every time I sat down to get to know this new script. And that's how I realized that I could have that accidental genius could be called in if I was in play mode. And play mode has changed my life. And play mode, I use it for everything. And it's made me a genius. Every day I get a genius idea. Every day I solve something in a genius way. And I know that sounds like, but it's not. It's because I figured out how to call it in and how to like not master it, but play with it. And once you know that about yourself, once you're like constantly doing genius stuff and things start to flow, you start really believing in yourself and really loving yourself and understanding that every human has this. Like you start falling in love with people as well. Like everything started to flow when I brought play back. And then the show, like that shopping deal expired. It came back and the show was like, I'm ready to come back. And I was like, listen, girl, if you want to come back to me, ideas are my friend. And I was like, if you want to exist, you have to help me. Like I will no longer be pushing. Like it has to flow. You have to tell me who are the people. And like I sent one email. I had one idea, sent one email, and that one email has changed my life. And the show is back in full force and the production team is set and my dream production team, like everything is now, the show is its own living, breathing thing. And now I get to bring my genius to it and it's like evolved. It's just amazing. So I really believe that saying yes to a big creative idea is the portal to your next self, basically. Did I answer the question? I don't know.
Gosh, it's like, there's this whole concept of like oneness, right? It's like we're one, right?
Yes.
I was trying to conceptualize that in my head for the longest time until I actually started having fun with my life, right?
Yes.
I had to make some tough decisions. I had to really keep my distance from certain people that would bring me back into a certain way of thinking or a certain way of behaving or a certain way of whatever. And it's like once you establish okay, a clean break from the past of whatever brought you down, you have this space right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I always wanted to do this. Let's try it out. Let's see what happens.
Yes. You start listening to your curiosity. That is so insane that you just said that, because I've been thinking so much about everything we have to shed and how painful shedding is. Like getting to this like
Very
ball of
painful.
joy. It is.
It's hard.
But it's hard. It's very hard. And not for a moment am I saying like, just be happy and joyful. Like, to be joyful, you need to acknowledge all of that, and you need to set boundaries, and you need to go to the underworld, deep, deep, deep,
Deep.
but deep. And suddenly you have space, like you just said, because you get a little lonely because you're shedding what is not in alignment and the relationships that are dragging you down. And it hurts because you don't not love them. You just, like they just can't handle who you want to become. And maybe they'll come back when they can. Maybe they won't. It still hurts.
Yeah. Yes.
But now you have time, and and in that time, I think that the best thing you can do is follow your curiosity, which is what you just said. You're like, wait, I've always been curious. Go. I've always wanted to see. Go. I've always wanted to read it. Like, this is your time. And when people feel really lost and don't know where to go in life, my biggest advice is like, just follow what makes you curious. That alone will take you where you need to go,
It is so true.
It's so true.
Like,
It's so true.
Literally, I probably July, I was like, okay, like I know for the type of business I'm trying to grow, my potential customers would be on the golf course. Lorena, I probably picked up a golf club one time before that. So July, like, I don't even know. I was like just reaching out to other podcast hosts. And then I came across the lady who was part of like a women's golfing networking group. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll join. All right. So that was like July. So like now I'm like vice chair of that networking group, and like people are joining it because like I got good at golf. I'm like, I am like,
oh, you never know.
yeah, like,
yes, it's one small move that you're like, let's see. And then like your life changes and your community grows. Like, that's what happened with my TED. Like, I was like, what if I speak about this? What if I create a little 15-minute thing where I like put my soul out? Let's see what happens. And like that one thing is who I am today. Like, has snowballed into everything, Yeah. Yeah. It's beautiful. That is so brave of you.
Yeah.
Golf is very scary.
Really? Oh my God. I could totally, whenever you're in Florida, come golf
please.
with me. It's
what
so
I
much
love
fun.
about golf, I want to go because of the nature. Like, you guys get the most stunning places. It feels unfair. Yeah, it's stunning. And I feel like because I probably am not good, I would have to take a really long time, which I'm fine with. I hope the people behind us.
Looks like golf.
Great.
No, it's
Then I'll
fine.
fit in.
Yeah.
Everybody sucks at golf.
That's the thing. They do, like, it's like the game of golf is the most mental thing ever. Of course, there's techniques and lessons and everything, but everyone just has this perception that the guy over there is better than them, but the guy over there is like, man, I suck. That guy over there is probably better than me. That's golf for you. And now there are some people who are actually good, but that's such a small percentage. Everyone's a little bit the same,
But what I love that you did was like, where are the people that I want around me? Where are the people that I want to learn from? And you got this idea. You're like, let me go play golf. And like, that is amazing. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And the other thing that was like even more amazing was that I went into these networking groups being fully integrated, leading like I'm a very spiritual person, and I also work in technology.
We need more of you. We need
and you know what?
Technology.
There's so many spiritual people on the golf course.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
That's amazing. I wouldn't have thought it, but like, I think nature has to, like, always has an impact and reminds you of your spirituality. So, like, if you're in those, like, if you're playing golf, I never thought about it, but it's maybe the only kind of spirituality some of those people get. You know what I mean? Like, it's the only time they get to, like, breathe into themselves in the golf course. I never thought about that. You're making me fall in love with them.
It is. It's such a mind-body connection.
I love that.
When you're out there trying to... Exactly. And it's a game and you have fun and you're connecting and you have deep conversations with people out there because you're just out there enjoying nature together.
Yeah. It's like hiking, but with a game. Okay. I'm going. We're in Florida. I'll be there next weekend.
Fort Lauderdale.
I've been there once. I think so.
You have to come back. South Florida is full of lots of everything. South American, Central American, Latin, lots of like, it's like a blending pot. Now you have a lot of New Yorkers coming in, so it's making the food a bit better.
Oh, great. Great. Yeah, Florida is South Florida is the capital of Latin America.
Yeah. Yeah. You would love it. Yeah. You have to come more often. You would love it so much. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm in. I'm convinced.
Yeah. 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 It's incredible. Oh my goodness. Now we're like talking about being best friends. We gotta go back to your story.
My story. I don't remember where I was.
Oh my God. So we were talking about the joy of play. And curiosity.
Play. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What would you listen? I believe, so it started with play. Okay. Like play would ignite little Lore. And then I would get to work. And that's what I started speaking on because I was like, guys, we've got it all wrong. Like we don't have to work hard. We don't have to over prepare. We just have to learn how to be in flow. And literally, I think that's it in life. Like how do you disconnect from the matrix and drop into the flow? And play helps me. And it was sort of the beginning of my spiritual, not awakening because I've been very spiritual, but I did reach a new level. I saw my own divinity much more powerfully after I started implementing ritual into my life. It started with like, before I sit down to work, I play. And then I started like lighting candles. And then I started saying a prayer and then praying and then the candles. And then and like slowly but surely, I started designing all of these rituals. And the power of ritual has like changed my life because I really think it's how we bring the sacred into the ordinary. And you can do a ritual for everything. And all it is it makes you live with intention and disconnect from the grid and into yourself. I'm obsessed with rituals, and play is part of most of my rituals because play lights my original spark up and she knows how to listen, you know? But I think if we could just like bring ritual back to our lives, to our morning, to our night, to our mid-afternoon, to our work, we would be more intentionally creating our futures, you know, and we would not be reacting out of fear and anxiety and sending emails when we're angry. Like, I think it's a very powerful tool. And I don't know why I felt like bringing it up, but like I'm seeing my office and it's like my candles and my lights and my painting. I love putting the painting that I just did up as like a sacred thing because it shows me that I'm capable of doing things I didn't know I was capable of. And it fuels me. And I wanted to be fueled to talk to you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's so funny because at the end of December, I had 2 weeks where I wasn't working. And normally I have all my family come in, we host the parties, do all these things. And this past year, I was just so exhausted from just being curious and being all over the place. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take these 2 weeks and I'm going to like just I'm just going to go within.
Please.
And during those 2 weeks, like, I just did whatever I wanted. Whatever.
Delicious.
Very. And what came out of that, I was like, you know what? I need to incorporate a wellness ritual in my regular day to day. Like, I don't want to just have this at the end of December. I want this every week.
I want this to fuel me. I want to come back to this. It is huge. Because life gets hard and because we get busy and because we're scared and we're losing people, like, it's hard to be a woman that uses her voice and takes up space in the world. Society is just not structured to support that. And it exhausts you. But if you have and if you have a ritual, a daily ritual, whatever it is, it could be while you shower, it could be while you work, while you cook, just a moment that in your body you can remember who you are, that you can like touch on your magic, that you can collaborate with God. Just a moment, 20 minutes a day. So, like, it'll slowly but surely be more time. And if you make big decisions from those 20 minutes, you're golden. Like, just don't, but you have to figure out a way to disconnect from all the weight and the pain and really rest.
Yeah.
You know, and be fueled by that.
Yes. Lorena, if I could explain, like, I think it probably dawned on me probably 5 minutes before we came onto this podcast, the amount of capacity of things that I have done and am doing right now. And I share it like, when I have like an intimate conversation on everything I'm doing with with someone, their eyes are like, how? I'm like, I don't know. They're like, how?
It's magic.
I'm like, I can't tell you. But all I know is that in the morning, I'm outside with the dog, looking in the sun, looking at the trees, looking at the little butterflies. In my afternoon, whenever I eat a meal, I make sure I'm eating it away from my desk and I'm looking outside, admiring the birds flying. You know, we have a little garden right here. I just bought a Martha Stewart gardening book. You know what I mean? Like,
God, yes. It's a magical thing working with the earth. You're
I have so many plants that I talk to every day right here.
Yes. Yeah, that's
my priority.
Yeah. That's how we juggle. Like right now I have five big creative lifts that all like toddlers. They all need diaper changing and they all need my attention and even just 3 years ago, I was like one at a time. I can't do more. But the more I prioritize rest and joy and connect to myself every day, the more I can handle. And the more, I think what happens also is that we are like infusing our magic into our projects and it gives them life to breathe by themselves. They're still
other
happening.
People come in are like, oh, this is cool.
They attract
and they help you out.
People. Yeah.
They help you out.
It's really, we have to let all the women know this, that if you rest and prioritize yourself and connect every day, you can do more. And it's not about doing more. It's about doing in alignment.
Less. Yeah. Kind of doing less, but more. Alignment.
Yeah. By doing less, you do more.
Yeah.
So my philosophy is like, unproductive joy is the most productive thing you will do to your career. Like,
so true.
Period. Yeah.
It's so true.
It's the same concept.
It's so true. Like, Lorena, like, okay, if this was, let's say 2019, like, you know, I'm like, okay, maybe I could just do like a little something extra on the side for like 5 hours a week. Maybe I can make like an extra $1,000 or something.
Yeah.
Today. Okay. So, you know, I'm running major data governance program, product line reporting program, putting on workshops locally. Now I'm heading up this, local networking chapter. I have my podcast. I'm doing speaking engagements. You know what I mean? Like I'm working with a couple of business partners to launch like a product for contract management,
Look at you. I love that. I love that. I have a question. What is the reason you wanted to start a podcast? Like, what called you?
Yeah, it's so interesting. So, you know what? I guess I'll go a little bit back for myself too, right? When I was a kid growing up, like I was a little fireball. I always wore like leopard, cheetah, clashing type of clothes because I wanted to be a fashion designer. I wanted to be a fashion designer.
I love that.
Yeah. So I was always like extra. And then I used to like sing around the house and pretend like I had a TV show, like pretending Jerry Springer type of stuff, like just playful. Yeah. Yeah. And then, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I always would play around type of stuff. Like I always was like, I want to be the next Oprah, like kind of replace her better than Oprah, whatever.
Yes, and then, love to Oprah.
Yeah, right. And then 2019, I had the itch to like start a YouTube channel. And then I don't know, I wasn't happy with myself. I felt like I didn't like how it looked, all this stuff. Then I think I wanted to try again 2022. I wasn't happy with myself, didn't like how it looked, all that stuff. And then 2023, my best friend launched her podcast and she had me on as a guest. And then the person who was like supporting me with my content at the time, he was like, you should start a podcast. I'm like, no, what am I going to talk about? He's like, no, you have to start one, and he's like such a sweet guy from Bangladesh, like he had really, kind of was like the only person who was like, you could do it, Jessica, during some really tough times for me. Like as he was just supporting me with my content, we got to know each other really well. And he was like, no, like you've helped me so much. You have to start your podcast. I'm like, all right. And so like the first couple of episodes were about like how I got over my anxiety and overthinking. And then like I just I started meeting my people around that time too. And I'm like, hey, you want to be on my podcast? He was like, yeah, let's do it. And then he introduced me to his friends. And then there's this one guy, his name is Joe Ingram. I got him on my podcast probably around this time last year. And then after we got off, he introduced me to like 20 people that night to come. Wow. And I thought he was going to be like my last guest. And I'm like, what is this? And then I'm like, all right, I guess this is what I'm doing. And then, within the year, I got like 23, I'm at like 23,000 subscribers now.
Oh my God. Yes.
It's so crazy.
That is wonderful. I love, you said various things, but one thing that stuck out to me, how major it is when someone else holds the vision of you for you, when you sort of can't see that for yourself because you're in the turmoil and you have a person that believes in you and tells you like, no, actually, this is who you are because you did this for me, and you dare believe them. And then like, look where you are. And I think those people are so important.
It's so crazy. Beautiful. Even the logo for my company, my best friend who launched the podcast, she was going through a tough time and she spent some time with me here. This was probably like 2022. And she was like, Jessica, I want to help you. And like that's when I was like trying to get my branding together and stuff with like for my company. And so I had hired someone to do the logo stuff for me. And, I was like, all right, this is good enough. I can work with this. But my friend, she's a creative, like really loves drawing all this stuff, put the most beautifulest artistic, like paperwork, like not paperwork, but like really creative, design. Very, very creative person. Yes. Yeah. Very design. And so she was like, Jessica, this is the logo I see for you. And then she also saw that the girl who did my logo previously used like a free template off of Canva. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
So because my best friend was having a tough time, I'm like, hey, come stay with me. It's okay. She wanted to help me out with all my design stuff. That's her strength. She helped me out. She helped me dodge a bullet, get my money back from someone who was trying to swindle me. You know, that intervention,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
And then her design was me because she loves me.
Yeah.
Right? And then I ran
she
with
knows
it. And
your
now
soul.
every single person. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it. Like, I didn't even see. I was doing like, oh, this is good enough.
Wow. I love that because my best friend designed my logo. And she had it perfectly because she knows me.
Getting up and running right now. Like, what the heck? Oh my God.
I love women. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Oh, this is so funny.
The fact that she was going through a hard time, like how when women come together, no matter how sad they are, like shit gets done. Can I say shit? I've said it twice now. Okay. Wow. I love that.
You have to tell me a story about now your best friend designing your logo. Oh my God.
My best friend. I have to say, so for many years, I was like, I am an Oscar winning actor. That is who I am. You can't tell me nothing. I still believe that, but I'm more than that. But I was obsessed with like booking, and I was like, okay, this is the year I book 3 guest stars, and then I'll book a lead, and then I'll book like I had and when things weren't happening, I would get very frustrated. And then the show happened, blah, blah, blah. But then I felt called to coach. I felt called to speak. I felt called to teach. And I was like, let me create a company. I created it first to work like an escort, like to work in many places, like a tax thing, that's how it started.
Yeah.
But then I had the company to do work for, like I could use it to do other things other than acting, and building a company from scratch as a woman is the most frightening, hard,
crazy,
amazing. It's crazy. It's amazing. And like every step of it's all the things, but like it actually turns you into a badass CEO. Actually, you become it.
It does.
And it's an honor to know that part of me. I didn't know she was there when I was auditioning, And now Hollywood can't tell me nothing. It's like, oh, you don't look Latina. Okay, bye. Like, your yes or your no is not gonna like change me. The role can, but like your approval of me does not define me. I'm a badass CEO. And so if I really think women need to open their own company. It's very hard. But in all of this, you're like, hey, can I get some help? And my company, Bien Creative, is in honor of my inner child. It's Spanglish, very like Lorena Martinez. Bien means very. So the company is very creative. So anything goes, literally. And I drew like a drawing of the logo as a little girl, like as if I was a little girl. And I asked my best friend, who's a designer, she had helped me with the materials to sell my show. I was like, can you come up with something fun for me? And the first logo she showed me was like the most ridiculous, stunning little thing. And I was like, that's it. And then she showed me more like refined ones. I was like, no. It's this one with the butterfly. And yeah, that's how my little logo came to be. But you just have to like find the women that are doing what you want to do. And what I've learned, which is so stunning, because I grew up competing or thinking I had to, but actually like women like you, I keep finding women like you that are like, I'm actually here to help and like open the door for you. And I'm here to create containers for more of us, not for me to be the one.
Exactly. No. My goal, like I watch a lot of space videos. I get very inspired by space and galaxies and black holes and orbits and everything, all the stars, everything. My goal is to create self-propagating systems.
Oh, say more.
My goal is to help you help yourself. My goal is that whatever maybe it's a project or it's a coaching, whatever, maybe it's one of my YouTube videos. My goal is to get you to know where to look for information outside of yourself, figure out how to integrate it within yourself, figure out how to listen to that little curious voice inside, the little nudge, so that you don't need me because I need to move on to other things.
I think the most beautiful thing I learned, and I learned it with this new project, was that the how to for anything can and should come from the inside.
Exactly.
I find so many, like I have friends that are like, oh, I want to write a movie. I need to get to class. And I was like, why don't you just first figure out what you want to write about? Like, what if you just first, I think you know more than you think. And you don't need a professor saying this. Sometimes the idea will tell you, hey, we need to learn about this. Go take this course. I'm not saying don't have tools, but it should come from the idea and not from your lack of confidence.
Yes.
You know? And I think empower.
Yeah. Go on.
No, I was going to say, no, it's so delicious.
Yeah.
And I think empowering women to listen first, because even when I coach, I'm like, all the magic is actually yours, like from you. I have a gift to channel and help you say the thing that you need, coach you in the way that you need. But then that magic is yours to take with you forever. And you won't need me. Like, as you said, like, I actually have more things to do and more people to help. But once we can teach women how to like light their spark up and listen to it, that will change your life, because you're no longer seeking. When I first started writing the show, I was like seeking approval every corner, every step of the way.
Yeah.
And I found it, but it was exhausting. It was slow. Whatever people told me, like, maybe she should this. I was like, you're right. Like, no, you're not. Wait a minute, you know? And now selling this show from like knowing the show and honoring the idea and therefore myself it's like a much more powerful way to sell, and people respond to that much more than to like, do you like it? Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing with human behavior, human nature, human psychology, all these things. And then you even can tap it in a little bit with, the whole manifestation world, whatever. We have to become it, right? You need to portray whatever you're trying to do. So like, if you're trying to portray like, own the rights to this movie, to this show, I am I'm big dog. You can't be like, yes, you're right. You can't be like, oh my God, I'm sorry. You can't be like, oh, you can't make yourself small if your goal is to be big dog in whatever you're doing.
Big dog. But you also cannot fake big dog.
That's true. You can't fake it. You can't.
People say fake it. And I'm like, it actually is very off-putting when you see a fake confident person.
That's why you have to do the inner work.
You have to do the work. I'm sorry, baby. There's no shortcut.
There is no shortcut.
But you can do it.
Yeah. Because if you don't do the inner work and you try to fake it, it crumbles every time. It will crumble at some point. At some point, it'll crumble.
And it doesn't feel good. Like you don't, and you have to, like, there's people, I know a lot of people that do this, and they have to like study and over prepare and make notes. And like, I have to say the smart thing, and I have to like, and when you are actually big dog, when you're actually fully in that energy of badass, of course you prepare, but you trust yourself to say what you need to say in the moment you need to say it, and like speak up for yourself. Like that, like, I should have said this, leaves forever, and it's delicious, because that was like the story of my teenage years, you know?
I should have said that. Like, oh, I should have spoke up. Like, yeah. Oh my God.
Having, No, I was going to say, having the fight you wish you had by yourself. I did that a lot. Beautiful discussions by myself.
Yeah. And then you write it out too. Like,
Yeah.
Like next
Yeah.
time.
Next time I will say it. Yeah.
My goodness. Oh my gosh, I forgot what I was gonna say too.
I
This
know, I'm
conversation is
sorry.
just so amazing. No, I love it. I love it. Absolutely so amazing. It's like
I want to do this every day, even if we're not recording. I would like, let's talk about all these things.
cause it's like
Because-
such a nuanced thing that you can't really talk about with a lot of people.
Yeah. Some people have turned the channel off. That's okay. For the people that are here, I love you. You're our people.
Come back.
Come back. Come back. Please. But, yeah, I think it's, women. Okay. I'm about to go. Are you ready?
Yeah, go. I'm ready.
I was home for 2 months and I had conversations with some older women who have chosen to like put the blindfold, like to live like that. And they are older. They're like in their 60s or 70s. And what I realized is that some women are too afraid to like take them off because especially the older you get, I can imagine that like it would be terrifying to think that what you've devoted your whole life to may not be right or may not be the best way. And facing that is too hard, you know?
Yeah.
And I respect if you don't want to do it, but doing it is like the most courageous thing in the world and so worth it. So worth it. So worth it.
It is. And the other thing is when you take the blindfolds off, you do the work and then you start becoming open about the work that you're doing and have done. There's so many people who are like me too.
Oh my God. So many. And the reason I was saying that is because those women get really threatened by other women's light and power. Because they've excused themselves away from it, you know? And so it seems like it's resistance, but it's just people that have refused, that haven't been as brave as you have. And that's
timely.
important.
It's a very timely thing you're sharing with me right now, this particular day, this particular moment. Yes.
Tell me more.
Yeah, because like I find that with women who don't do the work, let's say they're in the same field as you, but maybe, you know, there's some differences in how you guys approach things. And then you want to help out that woman who may have the blinders on, but she just can't help herself and kind of wants to just like, kind of figure out how to dim your light so you don't shine too bright over hers in certain environments.
Oh, I'm sorry you went through that. I've been through that as well. And I've lost friendships because of it. But there is something delicious that happens when you're in your integrity and you know that every decision you're making, you stand by. And when people can't handle it, it's like, that's actually a non-negotiable for me. But I do hurt for the women that can't handle the light. I think there cannot be enough healers, coaches, teachers, because the way, like you and I may be, for example, we both want to help women the way I phrase it is find the how-to from the inside, source from within. Like we both want to do that in this world. The way that I say things will land on some people. The way you speak will land on some people. There are women of every race, every color, every language. Like you don't know who's going to find you when, and you'll actually impact them. So like more women, please, like more coaches, more self-sourcing, you know. What I don't love is the like copy pasting fake coachy industry. Like that is not my vibe. I come across a lot of that. But when I meet women like you that are like genuinely powerful leaders, it's so thrilling because there cannot be enough. We need millions more.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because it's like with doing the work, you instantly can recognize the difference.
Yeah. Yeah. And we know in our gut, and our gut just gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And those women that can't, like, I know some women that are like, let's whatever. And I can sense their struggle with my success. And listen, I haven't mentioned this, but one of my biggest like pains in life that was a challenge for me was that while I was going through my immigration woes, my best friend and roommate started succeeding like beyond belief, like booking all the things, making a lot of money. And she has been living with me since we were in college.
Wow.
And she's the perfect body, the most exotic looking Latina, like stunning woman. And I've struggled a lot with weight, with my image, with booking. And so everything that I thought I needed to be was in front of me. Having all the problems solved that I was desperate to have some help with. And I was either going to become a dark, cynical, jealous bitch, or I was going to go do the work because there's a concept that I love. Like when someone triggers you and upsets you, it's a blessing because it's telling you, hey, you need to heal this. Like it has nothing to do with them and everything to do with you. So instead of like acting from that jealousy, like going within and being like, what is this? And reaching out. That's when I started therapy. That's when I started. And like my journey to me was from that, like, I love her and I don't want to feel conflicted about her success. And I feel conflicted right now. It hurts, which is so human, so normal. But I was like, this is not the friend. This is not the woman that I want to be. And it sucked, but from there you can choose to go get help and like go within. And that helped me find my inner child. That helped me realize how hurt she was and like all the things that come when we do the work. But when someone triggers you, like what a blessing it is that you now know what you need to go heal,
Yeah. But what you did and what you're saying is so courageous because people refuse to acknowledge their jealousy.
Thank you.
People
Thank you. In the moment, I
refuse.
didn't like calling it that, but
Yeah.
I was like, it's not that I don't want her to have it, it's that I wanted to. But that
Yeah.
is still jealousy. That is still a
Yeah.
form of, and
Which
it's
is
such
fine. It's a human thing. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It is a
Yeah.
human thing
You
when it
acknowledged it.
challenges. Yeah, but it sucks. But if you don't let your feelings define you, like you're golden, and now our friendship is deeper than anything. Like, and I
Yes.
love her and I want her to be even more successful. But it took work to really, really feel only light for that, and not
Yeah.
compare myself. Comparing.
Yeah. But that's the hard work. That's the deep stuff. That's the authentic stuff. That's the radical honesty,
Yeah.
And even like for you playing the role of the best friend and your best friend, like just even, experiencing more success and seeing what it's like for myself, the friendships gets weird. So what you
Yeah.
did is the bestest best thing that a best friend could do because now you're a friend, your best friend knows that she has someone that she can truly trust with everything.
Those relationships are gold. Like, thank you for saying that because it is the best friend thing to do, but it's also the best thing to do for myself.
That too.
And
Yeah.
I,
It's like,
I, I really believe in like being your own. When I
yeah,
I was in a relationship like on and off. And
yeah,
finally, after 4 years, I was like, okay, you are not my person. We need to stop, So
yeah,
we stopped.
yeah.
And that year was so painful and weird. But my one thing that I was like, I will be my own best friend because I was very lonely. My best friend moved to Texas. Like I was alone and I was like, I have me. And that meant treating myself with gentleness, like gently, and like anything baby needs. No decisions made from any toxic place. We are not going to go into his Instagram. We're never going to text him. We're never going to respond. Like,
That's
we're
good.
just going to be my own best friend. And
Yeah.
I think if, like, I can see the decisions my past self made as my best friend and how they've helped me today. And I want to continue to do that for my future, just like besties all the way, you know?
Yeah. No, that's incredible. That is incredible. That's really incredible. Cause I think I just recently got over, this limiting belief where I needed like, all the best friends, you know what I mean? Cause like my best friend, she's in California, but there was like a void for someone to be around me. And it was coming from a wounded place. Cause my childhood best friend passed away. You see?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's like a weird relationship that we had, but like I always knew she was going to pass away young. So it's just a matter of when, because she had a liver condition, right? So it's like, so it's like that thing that I always knew was going to happen. So it's like that void, because I never really processed it. I never, so I had a limiting belief where I needed someone attached to me at the hip. Yeah. But then to your point, I was like, no, I'm my own best friend.
Yeah. And when you become an adult, everyone is in their own journey. Like I'm single in my 30s and I'm from Mexico, which means my friends have 4 kids. Like everyone is in a different time of life. And I used to think, even last year, I was looking like for that one friend that is in my same place that we can like travel the world and do this and do this. Yeah. But as adults, I don't think that those friendships exist and I love them. But in my case, there's not that one person that's my everything. Yeah. I have my spiritual friends, my witchy friends, my best friend that lives far away, like different things. And I started living I take my own self to the trips that I want to go. Well, with this person, he is essential. I'm sorry,
He's
baby.
so adorable. He's so adorable. Yeah.
He is essential. But I do think just be your own best friend. Take yourself on the Valentine's, take yourself on the date. And you start finding women and maybe it's women that you see twice a year and you have profound moments with and they're friends for life. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. You're
like when I go to Florida and we golf, that's going to be very magical and it'll fuel me, and we don't need to be FaceTiming every day for a friendship to be real.
Exactly. Yes. And you know what? I would say to your point, you said you've always been spiritual, which I was too, right? I was always spiritual. I didn't realize how spiritual I was until I started figuring out what the truth was. But after this post, I guess, level elevation of spirituality, and I just drew a blank. I was going to say something and I drew a blank.
It's okay. Is it about witches? Is it about women having friends that
yes. Pre-spiritual awakening, post-spiritual awakening. It would be I need the one friend for everything. I need that one person for everything. And I'm actually married too. So, you know what I mean? I really don't need that type of thing because that's my husband.
Yeah. Hello.
Anyway, yeah, right? Post-spiritual awakening, it's like what you described. I have my golf women friends and, we're doing our thing, right? And then I have my podcast friends and then I have we're doing speaking. Yeah. And then I have, so it's just all the facets of my life. I have my crew.
I love that. I love that. And through it all, you have yourself and your husband. Beautiful.
Yeah.
We learned that I feel the reason I'm obsessed with creativity, with the creative process, with ideas, with all of that is because I think they're our spirit guides. I think they show us the way to become more us. And therefore, when we hang out with them, we're not alone. We're literally collaborating with this like friend that chose you. Like your company has its own soul. It comes from you, but like your company knows who she is, and you
Better
are
than I know.
discovering it.
I'm just like,
Yeah, better than
this is what we do.
exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Thanks for letting me know.
You're like, are you sure I'm capable of this? And she's like, yes, that's the only way. You're like,
I'm
okay,
like, all
girl,
right, let's go.
let's go. Yeah. I think that's true for all ideas. I think they know who they are. They're ready. They're realized. You have to, it's like a child. It's like you just have to be the container for that idea to come through.
Mm-hmm.
And so this relationship with my creativity has allowed me to fall in love with my solitude in a way that I never expected, especially like mid 30s. Like I thought I'd be a mother. I thought I'd be married. I thought blah, blah, blah. And the way that it's happened has actually been the biggest blessing because I've had the time and space to get to know me and what I want, what I believe, what I feel like, my desires, you know? And that is what the awakening is all about. Like getting to know who you are.
It is getting out of those karmic patterns that, learn what you need to learn, let your soul evolve. Some people believe in reincarnation. I think it kind of makes sense. I'm not really trying to come back though. I'm trying to move on. There's other stuff out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like I went to Scotland and my soul was like, we've been here before. I was like, we have 1,000% have been here before. But yeah, I'm trying to evolve. I'm trying to
I'm trying to move on. There's other stuff out here. Okay.
Yeah. Other experiences.
I gotta do what I gotta do here in this place, live out my soul's purpose here. And then we're gonna, go to the next thing and have fun forever.
And live by soul's purpose forever.
Yes. Which is infinitely now.
So much.
Oh my God. I feel like we could be here forever.
Truly. I'm like, we've been here 5 minutes, right? It's only been 5 minutes.
I know. It's so crazy. Oh my God. All right. So we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up because I think we'll have like a million part 2s, 3s, 4, 5s, 6, 7s, 8, 9s, 10s. Okay.
We should just do a you and me podcast, period.
I know.
Oh my God. Will you come to Playdate one day?
Yeah. Yes. I would love to. Yes.
Please come to Playdate one day. Yeah. I'll tell you more about it, but we're going to play and we're going to basically continue this conversation while we play.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
So Lorena, if you could give your top 3 pieces of advice for someone to tap into their inner creativity, what would it be?
Find that one thing that you love to do when you were a kid that lights you up. Bonus points if it's creative play. Go to Michael's, see what lights you up and get it. And visit that at least once a week. Like really, really go in and play. Follow anything that makes you curious, anything that keeps popping up. Just like a quick Google, like a quick afternoon with a curiosity, a place that you've been meaning to visit, just a quick afternoon. And take one step towards that curiosity. And number 3, know that we need your ideas. If the idea comes to you, is because there is an audience that is desperate for it. And the only way that you get good is by like putting it out there and like messing up, just be messy, but put it out there. Be brave to put your work out there because we actually need it. And the more you put it out there, the better you'll become and the more traction you'll get.
Yes. Yes. That is incredible. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it so much. And where can people find you?
I am on Instagram at Lore, LOREMTZ, Martinez. I do want to invite people. I created this whole thing of rituals and women empowerment. I created a beautiful ritual called I Am Magic that it's It's to call in your power, release what's not serving you. And like spring has sprung, we are here. And it is on the link in my bio. My website is thiencreative.com. And I can't wait to meet more of your community. I'm very honored to be here.
Wonderful. Oh, thank you so much for being on. This was incredible. Like,
It's a joy.
Absolutely loved it. I loved it so much. Thank you so much. Wow. That's so cute.
That was amazing. Did you know Riverside could do that?
Because your Mac settings, the Mac, because you have a Mac, right?
Yeah.
I know they did that.
It feels like a superpower. It literally feels like I'm sending love. I love it. I'm obsessed. I'm going to do it all the time.
Oh my God. I love it so much.
It's the perfect closing. It's the perfect closing.
It is. Oh my goodness. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm very proud of you and very honored.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.